Hey, time for another scientist lesson. Very excited for this one. Her name is Elizabeth Blackwell. Hopefully, some of you have heard of her, but if not, we're going to learn a little bit. So, she was born in 1821 in Bristol, England, and her family were Congregationalists, meaning that they valued education for women as well as young men. Um, this term Congregationalist is kind of our day-to-day term liberal, but not in a sense of a political standpoint. It's more from an educational and from like a groundbreaking standpoint. Things that shouldn't be done or things that aren't normal are forms of congregationalism. And her parents were sugar makers. How funny. They actually made like sucrose and glucose at that time. Her family emigrated to New York because sugar refineries were more popular and profitable. However, they struggled financially even when they moved over from Europe. So they ended up starting a school. It was a French school in upstate New York, and it was dedicated to educating young women. There were 6 Blackwell sisters and 2 Blackwell brothers, as well as their mom and dad. And actually, all 6 of their female in the family ended up working at the school teaching French, music, trying to introduce methodology of what we know as science now. It's actually really cool. But she is known, probably the most popular reason why we're talking about her is because she was the first woman in the United States to graduate from medical school. And that medical school was Geneva Medical School, and she graduated in 1849. And this is just huge. And before she actually even applied to medical school, it was almost like this idea that she was never going to get in and that she was never going to be able to be a doctor or a physician. And they actually, when they accepted her, they asked most of the male students, like, is this okay? And there was 150 male students at the time, and all of them were like, yes, bring her on board. And we have to remember that these are doctors. These are not businessmen. These are people who want to help the community and greater good, and that includes women. And getting that perspective was really important for them. She devoted her expertise to open practices and clinics for young women and mothers outside of her graduation. This is what she's known for. She set up clinics for women who are pregnant, women who wanted to be pregnant, women who are going through, or needed obstetric procedures or obstetric consultations, things like that. And that's really what she did for the rest of her life. And she died after suffering a stroke, but leaves a lasting legacy to humankind and the medical world. Super, super important. I want to tell you guys in 1894, this is after she graduated, there's a statistic that the percentage of women who graduated from medical school is about 0.0004%. And in 2019, this was the most recent statistic I could find. The percentage of women who graduated from med school was 50.4971. And if that doesn't leave you with some kind of amazement, it's incredible. And we owe, most of this to her sort of groundbreaking efforts and her ability to do so. So awesome person. Highly recommend you look her up. And thank you so much